Welcome back to Invest Global. Today we're going to be diving into the charts with some technical analysis on Cardano, ADA, and XRP Ripple. So these two coins are quite interesting to watch. XRP has had this crazy kind of sentimental analysis with the SEC news, kind of some more push forward on that. And then Cardano is having an incredible month with all these partnerships, all these kind of promising things moving into May. Absolutely incredible. By the way, happy May 1st. April was a pretty crazy month for the crypto market, but it's always important to understand not only just fundamental, sentimental, and on-chain analysis, but also matching that all with technical analysis, because it really helps you get a better understanding of kind of market psychology, because that's really what this is. When you're studying the charts, it really just represents, okay, what is the psychology going on in the market? Are people FOMOing in or FOMOing out? That's kind of what's going on. And by the way, the Global TA course, episode 3, it's a free course. It's an 8-part series. Basically, they're all around like half an hour to 40 minutes long. The first 2 were just kind of the introductory sections on fundamentals, frameworks, and paradigms. And the second one was on basically the basics of identifying support and resistance lines. So very, very fundamental things, but also very important to understand, because if you don't have those, you really don't know how to trade in general. Tomorrow, we'll actually be diving into key indicators you can use, identifying different patterns, Fibonacci extensions, and some things like this. And then the next part of that will be on next Sunday. But again, each Sunday is rolling out a new course, a new module basically. And a lot of people are charging thousands of dollars for technical analysis courses. And I was realizing this, and I'm like, man, this information should be free. So I'm going to put that out there. Anyways, let's dive into the charts and apply some of this technical analysis. Not getting into anything too complex. I mean, the beautiful thing about technical analysis is you can literally just use the basic structures of, okay, just some basic patterns, drawing out support and resistance lines, drawing out these key indicators, things like triangles, things like you can look at bull and bear flags, you can look at head and shoulders. But recently here with ADA, we were in this kind of rising wedge pattern. And this, by the way, this is just a naked chart besides the volume on the 1 hour time frame. So we can just kind of identify some of these little trends here that have gone on. For example, this rising channel right here, which is technically a bearish pattern, and we did see a breakdown, but it lasted fairly long. Right here, you could draw it a couple of ways. You could kind of draw it as a rising wedge like this as well. So you could use these kind of bottoms and draw it like this. So essentially, what you're seeing is higher highs and higher lows. So that's essentially what you're going to see in a rising wedge. And then we saw this kind of consolidation down. So that was kind of the macro trend. But within each macro trend, there's kind of a micro trend. So it's important to identify this. When you're using TradingView, you can also, a good way to do this is just kind of like changing the colors. So for example, here we saw kind of a descending triangle right here that broke towards the upside, since it's a bearish, or a bullish pattern rather. And since it's a bullish pattern, we'll just use green right here. And so you see this kind of the line. You see it just touching each of those kind of wicks as it's cascading down. And again, in a second here, we will move into XRP, but Cardano is very important to look at, especially with, again, all kind of the fundamental things happening and the sentimental things happening. I've been talking a lot about all of the launch pads. Sorry about that mic issue, but I've been talking a lot about the launch pads with things like Card Starter, things like, why am I trying to blank on this? Occam's Razors. It's like Occam Finance, which is another launch pad. I've been doing a lot of these things. Apologize if I was a little off there. I have been kind of getting ready for this flight, and I've been a little, my mind is all over the place. But what's more important is technical analysis. Even while traveling, I love doing these investing things. But yeah, 3 videos a day is a lot, but I definitely enjoy doing it just because I'm, full-time basically investing in capital markets, not necessarily just crypto, but a lot of other investment classes. And yeah, I apologize for that, but let's continue on. So you can see this descending triangle right here. As I said, it did this nice breakup. So a way you can always test the breakout of a triangle like this. So this is a descending triangle where the top line is going towards the downside. The bottom line is just flat. Is you can take the measure move price target essentially of the base of the triangle. So that's essentially the base. And I like to be a bit conservative on this. So instead of making it way too long, just be a bit conservative. It's always good to have a little bit of a balanced approach. And I mean, that would have basically hit it almost exactly. You could set it up right there from kind of the bottom of the breakout, and you would have pulled profits here. So we can zoom in a little bit. Again, remember, this is on the 1 hour time frame. If you're confused on any of the technical analysis things I talk about, just go watch Global TA. Again, I specifically built that series basically as a trading course, so you could trade in any capital market. You don't have to just trade in crypto. You can trade Forex, you can trade commodities, you can trade stocks, futures, options, all these different things, as long as you understand the basics of technical analysis. And then as you progress through the course, you can see more in detail what's going on. So let's just say right there, I mean, let's say you're using 2x leverage, tiny leverage. Your maximum loss would be around like 11%, a little bit less than 11%. what your maximum gain is, close to 80%. So around like what, 76%, somewhere in that range. So, pretty great little trade there just off the breakout. I mean, that would be a nice little price target there. You could have even pulled a little bit of profits here if you're using like a Fib retracement. So let's just say, this is just for an example, if you were going to use a Fib retracement, you could have had even better of an understanding of where this price could have gone, because you could have drawn Fib retracement from here to the bottom. So it's swing high. So this is where you'd start the Fib retracement, to swing low. So right around the bottom here. And remember, it's really approximations. Nothing's really exact in technical analysis. You should really see any line as a range, not an exact point. With Fibonacci extensions, it's a little different, but when you're actually drawing it yourself, you don't have to be insanely exact. Just like with support and resistance lines, it's never an exact point. Rather, it's really a range like this. So you can draw it as a rectangle as well. I talk about this in Global TA. So let's see here. Okay, yeah. So this actually would have gave you nice. I mean, look at that. That's literally right on. This here. Let's get rid of this this guy. Look at this. So you could have pulled profits right here at this 0.786, which is in a range a lot of people like to use. I mean, it hit it literally exactly. And then you can see from here how Fibonacci extensions work. Absolutely beautiful. Again, I will talk about this more in the free course. But let's see. Okay, and by the way, if there's any indicators you guys have questions on, just let me know in the comments, because I can include that in Global TA. But all of these basically help you apply it to any chart. So it doesn't matter if you're watching this 10 years from now, you will still be able to apply technical analysis, fundamentals, technical analysis skills to any capital market chart. Again, trading commodities, trading literally anything you want. You saw another little descending triangle here, Cardano. So we saw this go on. You could kind of call this a descending triangle. Depends on how you want to draw it, but you could also draw it like this. You could draw it like this. I would prefer to draw it a little bit different, but some people, again, it really just depends on your preference, to be quite honest. So you could draw it like this, and then you would just move this down. It's like that. You see what I mean? You're identifying these tops and these kind of bottoms of these different trend lines. And I hope you can kind of see what I'm doing here. That's the most important thing about technical analysis. The more time you spend in the charts, the better you kind of get at it and identifying these things. And remember, it's a range, never an exact point. So essentially what you're seeing there is a consolidation. So you're seeing lower highs, higher lows, lower highs, higher lows, lower highs, higher lows. And then you saw this little breakout, a little bit of a dump here because it got rejected. So that's again why support and resistance is important, because you see if you pull out a little horizontal ray right about here, and you could even, this is actually works right perfect. Look at literally perfect. So got rejected there, a little M pattern. Then we pushed up, broke down from there, got rejected there, pushed down, a little bit, push up, wicked up, literally hit that exact point, and then busted down. Same with up here, except remember with resistance lines, it's like tapping on glass. The more pressure you put on it, the more tests, basically in this case, the more times you test that range or that point, the more likely it is to break towards the upside or towards the downside. It just depends if you're talking about it just depends if you're talking about a support or resistance line. So then we see this resistance turn into new support here. So we tested multiple times, and we dumped down, retested it, kind of have been moving in this little pattern here. We can draw this out. You could draw this like this. This is how I'll draw it. My bad. That's a little ray there. And then again, we will move into XRP here in 1 second. But it is important to understand what's going on with Cardano. I think fundamentally the project's obviously incredible. They haven't really rolled a ton of stuff out yet, but their partnerships are awesome, what they're doing, and yeah, I like this. So I will draw this kind of as a little bit of a falling wedge. You can draw it like this. You can draw it to the bottom of the wicks if you want, but I sometimes like drawing it to just the actual body of the candle. So you could just do here, and then you could extend this guy out. But since, remember, basically descending wedge or descending channel is a bullish pattern. So then we broke out of there. Now this kind of micro trend, which we could break down on. You see we're kind of just testing. Remember this key level. It was support over here. We broke down, kind of retested it there, because remember, it's a range, not an exact point. And now we're kind of just consolidating near this area. And you can zoom in a bit more and see what exactly is going on. So you could go here and look at the micro trend and go, okay, maybe we're in a little bit of a symmetrical triangle. Who knows? But you can test that basically as a thesis. And if you're just paper trading, just practicing, then you can go, okay, as you're building the skills, you can become more confident and understand that you're now identifying these patterns properly. So the macro trend though right now was kind of this breakout here, this breakout like this. So we were in a rising wedge right there. We kind of still are, but you usually see these. It's either like pump, dump, consolidate, or dump, pump, consolidate. It's never just pump, 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 or dump, 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 dump. There's always a consolidation period. Once the consolidation period ends, that's when you have a nice breakout opportunity. So moving on to XRP. This is we went a little bit long in Cardano, but XRP is quite interesting. Again, this very, very long rising wedge right here. You can see after this kind of sustained dump period. So you can kind of draw this out as a let's pull out a horizontal line. So you can kind of draw this kind of as a historical support level around this area. Boom. And then let's pop these in so you get a little bit better understanding of kind of these key levels here. You could use this as a key level. You could use this as a key level. Let's go here. Use this. Boom. Because you see multiple touch points. The more touch points, the better. And you can get more detailed or less detailed as you want. For example, you could add one like around this area if you would like. You could add one like right here. You could add. You see this little W, how it didn't complete the W, and people tried to trade it and then got dumped on. That's why, again, just simple support and resistance lines are sometimes better than these crazy indicators, because just literally simple support and resistance lines, simple patterns. It helps you, keep it simple, stupid. KISS, not overcomplicate things. That's literally, we're speaking of Occam's razor. That's literally what Occam's razor is all about. Now, the project is using the idea of Occam's razor, but fundamentally, the logical tool Occam's razor is it tends to be that the simple possible explanation is typically the right one. People overcomplicate things so much. So yeah, I'm not going to spend too much time here in the XRP charts, but I do think it will probably have a pretty interesting, a pretty juicy month of July as far as price action. Let's see here. We can use, I'll just kind of show you this little pattern that it's in now, this kind of rising wedge. It's kind of been consolidating down. So again, you're seeing higher lows, higher highs like this, and you could pull it like this. This is how I would do it. Somewhere like this. Ba-boom. In that area, okay? You see what I'm saying? I was kind of consolidating towards the upside. It was in this kind of dump pattern here. But if we use Fibonacci retracements, again, the beauty of Fib retracements is, that's personally my favorite indicator if I'm just trying to keep it simple. And again, in these sectional analysis kind of like videos where I'm just keeping it semi-short, I try and just keep it to the basic Fibonacci levels, because you can see here, remember at this, what is this, the 5.1? Yeah, the 5.1 level, this is nice levels you can trade off, you can pull profits from. So that's basically it for today's video. Again, go check out Global TA for more analysis on basically how to use the charts, how to identify this, trade in all capital markets, and make nice gains. Basically, everything you need to know is in that course. The playlist is always linked down below in the description, along with the video on how to do your own research, how to pull profits in altcoins, the global investment framework, all key videos to watch. Those are in the must-watch video section down below in the description. Let me know in the comments what coin or what really asset class you would like to see me do technical analysis on, or maybe do a review on down the road. So that's all for this one. Like, subscribe, button all, invest global, and until next time.